This is how I made $42,000 in 20 days whilst working a full-time job. And don't worry, I'll show you the proof. Welcome to Kai's Way, the journey that we are all on to find financial freedom, to be the best version of ourselves for our family and our children. My name's Kai and I'm an investor and funded trader, and in this video we will be talking about how I made $42,000 with Topstep, a prop trading firm. I trade Nasdaq and gold futures. I also trade Forex in terms of the USD and Aussie pairs, and also I'm involved in crypto in short-term and long-term moves. Before we get started though, a few disclaimers. This is not financial advice. I do not in any way, shape or form sell courses, and I will never approach you first. And finally, trading is not a get-rich scheme. This takes time and skill. So, looking at the charts, I was actually looking at the US bond market and Nasdaq during this period of time where I passed 3 challenges with Topstep and got payouts through multiple accounts. So essentially, I was looking at this uptrend in the US bond market. It was a strong move in 2023, and we then broke the trend line in 2024, and this became my area of interest. As price started to break from this area and then retrace, I was really interested to see how the daily candles would react from this particular zone. So I was already marking up my zones whilst taking the challenge and funded stages. At the same time, Nasdaq was moving inversely to the bond market. As you can see, during the 2023 rally of the bonds, Nasdaq was very, I would say, neutral, or if not, pulling back slightly. And then when we saw the treasury market decide to turn at the start of 2024, at that point where I'm circling now, Nasdaq decided to make an aggressive move to new highs. Okay, so this had now become an inverse correlation between 2 pairs, which was giving me one and only one confluence. Okay, this was building my narrative towards actually building trade ideas, like treasury bonds, to start reacting negatively from this particular area. But again, it's just one confluence to build my narrative at this point. Okay, so the other reason why I was starting to look at Nasdaq longs was because of what was going on with the fundamentals. Fed Powell was starting to show signs of actually lowering interest rates, and you can see this from the data in the late 23 through to early 24, where actually the rate cycle had actually come to a standstill, and therefore rumors were circulating around April and May that around September we would start to see an easing of policy. This would be bullish for the equities market, no doubt. Therefore, this constituted my second confluence of a bullish bias. The third thing I was looking at is what institutional order flow is doing. As you can see, they are long in the market towards the end of April and also early May. Heavily stacked long positions from institutional buyers is always a good signal that you're going to be on the right side of the market. You don't want to go against the trend. Now, whilst the fundamentals are stacking up in our favor, we need price action to actually lead the way. So it was encouraging for me to see quite heavy selling in the bond market and Nasdaq moving in a bullish pattern when I start to see these institutional players taking their positions. So by me having this overall narrative, I was able to continue my full-time job and actually place alerts and markers at specific daily zones that I want to get involved in getting long on Nasdaq. The bias was clear, the price action was clear, therefore I was able to juggle my job and do other things and businesses that I'm involved in whilst taking minimal stress trades in accordance with the trend, in accordance with my bias. Okay, this was really how I passed the challenges, multiple challenges. I took multiple payouts As you can see, the bond market does react, goes back up towards my zone, and then starts to sell back off again. I was mainly scalping and taking hourly positions using things like the volume profile. As you can see here, this is a 5.5k trade that I took on my funded account, and also using time and sales order flow for accurate entries and exits to ensure precision in my trading. Now to the dashboard. So this was my 50k express funded account, and as you can see, the equity curve was pretty steady. I did have some losing days, but the particular rules on the account mean that you actually can't trade past a specific threshold per day. I think that's good discipline. I quite like that, and I ran the account up past $10,000. Here is me taking the payout on this account, and as you can see here, the confirmation of the 50% profit split, which happened on the 3rd of May. Now, I wasn't able to record all of the dashboards because essentially this video would go on forever, but what I will show you here is the other payouts that were then subsequently taken from the other accounts that I had passed. So as you can see here, an additional 11,300 is also taken out on the 3rd of May from the other account. You will now see another payout of $10,000 on the 16th of May. So at this point, it's turning into a very good month, positive month. And here is me taking another $16,000 directly from the dashboard, again adding to a very successful month. Nice little gesture here from Topstep, sending me a message at the end of May to essentially say, hey, I'm one of the top performing traders, I'm in one of the top percentiles, and essentially I've caught their eye. So always nice to get a bit of recognition from a proprietary firm. But we stay humble, we continue, and we keep our feet firmly on the ground. Trading is a funny old game. Now, some of you might be wondering whether the firms are still paying out. Well, I can assure you, I've just been paid out recently by these guys at the end of October on another account. I know here it is, as you can see the date, around 3k at the end of October. So I have no reason to believe that these guys aren't going to pay out. I will remind you that I'm not affiliated with these people. I've not been paid to make this video. So essentially I'm not responsible or representing them in any way. Please do your thorough research. But all I can say is I'm a trader for the traders. And if people are paying out in this current climate, I think it's a good thing to share that with the community. So a few takeaways. If you are a full-time employee or you have multiple businesses you are trying to run and are not finding the time to trade, this might be a useful way to approach your trading. If you can marry up the fundamental and market biases with price action, create levels and zones of interest, and be very, very clear on your bias for perhaps a 2 to 3, maybe a 1 week period, you will be able to perhaps trade efficiently and get involved in the market when your alerts start popping off. You can get involved rather than sitting at the chart for hours on end. You'll have clarity of mind and you know what your bias and direction is going to be. Now, in terms of my performance, I made an investment of around $900 to buy 3 accounts, and I returned over $42,000. For me, that's an incredible ROI, which I don't believe many other businesses can categorically say that they can give to you if you were to invest 20 days. Now, obviously there is a caveat. I've spent many years learning this trade, and therefore I would say that if you apply yourself, you learn the craft, you learn the skill, this is absolutely in the art of the possible in a very exciting time where capital is available for normal people to really make some serious money. Now, if you're not familiar with futures and you'd prefer to trade Forex in a CFD fashion, absolutely no problem. Head over below to my link to FTMO and Alpha Capital. Essentially, they have also paid me out this year, so I have no reason to believe at this current climate and this current moment in time why if you were successful, you would not be paid out with them. So feel free to check those firms out as well. Let's keep the energy real as we try to strive to our goals to better our life for our families and ourselves. Feel free to drop a comment. If there is a specific video you would like me to make, please type in Kai's Way, for example, FTMO, if you want an FTMO video, Kai's Way Crypto, if you want me to talk about crypto. I'm trying to create a community here with you guys, so without your comments and engagement, I'm really not going to know what type of videos or what would be of value to you guys, and also whether this is a correct investment of my time as well. So all comments and feedback are welcome. Just remember, there's many ways you can trade the market. Do it however you want to do it, but this was Kai's Way. Peace out.